AskReddit by We Sell Blackberry 8. What are your thoughts on being called honey, darling, hon, or other cutesy names and on mom and sir? As long as it's coming from a place of kindness, I don't mind being called really anything. Old man at the farmer's market selling me tomatoes calls me sweetheart. A-okay, have a lovely day. Skeevy dude slowing down his car as I'm walking my dog calls me sweetheart. Fuck right off. My best friends can call me fucker and asshole, and I know it's a term of endearment from them. From a customer or stranger? A much different scenario. It depends on the context. A sweet little old 80-year-old southern lady with a big smile and a walker saying thank you, honey, because I held a door for her while she got her walker through? Absolutely fine, and I'll smile and say you're welcome. My boss at work asking me to get him coffee and saying thank you, honey, or constantly calling me sweetie? Not so cute or welcome. Context matters. Words don't exist in a vacuum. Their power comes from how they are used. Intent is everything for me. And power inequities are random. Stranger is a here and gone. Your boss, he controls your paycheck and promise of promotion, and if he calls you honey or sweetie, he's pulling sexist rank. Same with doctors. I had a male obgyn call me honey on several occasions. It was really infantilizing. So, honey, what do you think is the problem? When I was hemorrhaging after a miscarriage, yeah, to the nurse, could you write in my chart that the patient does not like to be called honey ? I'm either in the south, I'm hanging with some grannies, or we're sexing. What if you were sexing grannies in the south? I'm a southern lady that taught pre-K for 14 years. Everyone is honey unless they're being rude or disrespectful, then they're mom or sir. I'm a New Englander with some family in the south. I learned very young that when a southern woman switches to formal language, it means they're mad at me. Personally, being called those terms is kinda cute, but mom makes me feel like a grandma. I call people in business mom or sir. Young or older. Only the older women don't like mom. It's meant with but most respect, but some folks don't take it that way. I'm lucky they don't call me an asshole. I'm a middle-aged southern woman. I call everybody one of these names, but it's all from a warm heart, and if anyone asked me to call them otherwise, I'd oblige them. I'm a southerner, so mom and sir are as natural to me as breathing. As for the others, they're nice pet names to give a partner. I don't use them because I'm single, but also they just don't have the right flavor for me to use. Not a southerner, but ex-military. Same thing. At the pizza place I order from on Tuesdays, there's one lady who calls me love like that'll be 20 minutes, love, and it melts my cynical old heart. Right? There's a Mexican place nearby with the best al pastor. Every time I order there, if it's the husband and wife team that owns, I can guarantee at the end of the call to order or the pickup, there's always a thank you, honey at the end. Context matters. I'm a teacher in the South, with Southern and Appalachian roots. I frequently call my students darling or sweetheart, and I don't mind such terms of endearment coming from older women or my poor or great uncles, but it's creepy and patronizing when random men do it. Mom and sir are used when speaking to elders, although I've learned that it offends folks from up north, like they think you're being sarcastic or something. So I try to avoid using those terms if I know someone isn't from around here. Same thing happened to me in San Francisco. People truly really thought I was being intentionally rude and or provocative by calling them mom or sir. No, mom, I'm just from the South, and even though I'm not religious, I'm pretty sure a bolt from the sky will arrive if I don't use mom or sir. I have no idea why, but I've always hated being called sweetie, hon, or honey. It just irks me. That being said, if it's a stranger that says it, I don't say anything. I just move in with my day. If it's someone I interact with regularly and they call me one of those, I politely ask them not to, and they can use any other word. I'm not American, but being called hun by a middle-aged waitress with a lit cigarette and slightly too much makeup while offering me more coffee and possibly a slice of pie is on my bucket list. Should post that on our oddly specific lol. It's like hearing your favorite song, depending on who says it. I get called this by some of the older male customers at work, and I find it endearing. I'm in my 50s, and a couple of them also sometimes call me young lady, which I enjoy. There will always be different habits depending on age, and these older gentlemen are not being racist, hateful, or offensive. One day I will be the oldest person in the room almost always, should I live that long, and nobody will call me young lady anymore. These gentlemen of my parents' generation are being kind in the way they learned, and I have never found it condescending, just heartwarming. Obviously it would be different in other contexts, but believe me, that doesn't happen to me anymore. Part of what I do involves logistics at a distance. I arrange trucking and other transit for facilities hundreds of miles away. Terminal managers, drivers looking for directions, guys clarifying load dimensions, all of them thanks, doll, appreciate it, babe, will do, sugar, I'm likely old enough to be a mother figure to most of them, an older sister at least. But that's okay, call me babe, I don't care lol. Seems to me that when a woman gets to a certain age, 60 plus, people start calling her dear. I hate that. A lot of older people get patronized and infantilized to an absolutely terrible extent. Sometimes to the detriment of their care and in turn their safety. As other comments have said, as long as it's coming from a wholesome place it's all good. Only if they're a Waffle House waitress. If they are younger than me it's weird. No thoughts at all. They are not malicious. I worked at a call center. We had scripts. The trainer explained that the words aren't what matter. It's the shape of the conversation. For an example, she used her greeting. She had a normal voice, but "how are you today" just rang false from her. "Hope you're doing well. Thanks for taking my call." These sounded sincere from her. She stuck to those. Some people can call me by diminutive terms, formal address, or terms for elders, and just not seem like there's any possible negativity to be ascribed to their choices. You have to be that person, though. I'm a gay man, and another attractive gay man called me honey once and I wanted to bend over immediately. I call my friend sugar tits and he hates it. One of these days it will be the wrong day and it will be the last time. I'm not your friend, but if someone needles me constantly like that I make less and less time for them. I don't really care. Depends on the setting, the person, intensity of conversation. But most times I'm more focused on the convo.